I'm a storyteller. I tell stories. That's what I love to do. Those of you who know my work know that I weave important messages about the environment into my stories, that I have lessons that I hope y'all will learn, and that research is the core of all my writing. But still, first and foremost, I am a storyteller. They call me the canary in the coal mine, and I really love that. I think it's quite accurate. Is it? And I have 5 canaries, I'm just saying. The reason I like it is when you think of a canary, you think of a small bird that sings a beautiful song, and the purpose of which is to just entertain you, to share love and joy and sings heart out. But in that song, there's a note that says, pay attention. There's a threat in our environment. And that's what I kin my books to. Be careful, there's a threat in our environment. I don't feel it's my job to tell you what to do. I don't write nonfiction. I could, and maybe I will someday. But I found my calling in writing fiction, telling stories, because I believe in the power of story to make my readers aware of important issues. I never have to point my finger. I never have to proselytize. It's the power of story. This whole process for me began back in the late 90s. I had written 5 novels. They were all born from archetypal themes. But my husband, who's here with me tonight, he's a child psychiatrist from the MUSC, and we came here because of him full-time. It was an easy yes to live out here. We had been visiting the Isle of Palms for a long time in Sullivan's Island. But when we moved here full-time, the first thing I did was to join the island turtle team. So I became a turtle lady, and I learned while I was doing all the dirty jobs, from looking for the markings on the sand to moving nests and making all the decisions. What I learned while I was doing that was all the people, whether they were local and just coming to the beach that night, or whether they were from off. They could be from England, from somewhere far away. When they were on the beach and they were looking at the little orange signs and the triangles, they wanted to know about the sea turtles. And it wasn't lazy curiosity, it was true interest. And they were concerned about what they could do to help. And this sparked something in me. This told me that despite what the naysayers were saying, people really did care about wildlife and nature. So I decided I'm going to write a story, because I believe in the power of story, that will get my readers invested in the characters and then the animal. But how do I do that? This was a decision on my part. How can I use my books as a force for good? And I create the story from what I've learned from the animals. What are the 3 major lessons? And from those lessons, I create a plot and a setting, of course, and the themes, of course, and the metaphors, and even dialogue and personalities. And I find this enriches and deepens the book enough so that my readers are involved in an authentic story world. That when you see the characters, that when you see the species through the characters' eyes, you feel their emotion. And that's the key. That's what grabs you. What I try to portray in my novels is the connection that I make with these animals. And that is key to every novel that I write, our connection to wildlife. It's at the heart of what I do.